Let's hit the field.
It is Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, and the Yankees were taking on the Padres at a rainy Yankee Stadium in Game 1 of a 3-game set. Trent Grisham was handing out the free mustache rides, but would it be enough to stop the mighty Padres? My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Well, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes it rains, and sometimes two of those things happen at the same time. Yankees drop a tough one, another bullpen implosion, at least the Knicks one. So some of you will undoubtedly have that to fall back on. We got a call this morning that somebody said we should never hand out the bum, and nobody's ever deserving of the bum of the night. And I have to say I wholeheartedly disagree.
Damn bum, you know that? Bum.
My bum is on the
Yankees. Listen, Devin Williams imploded again. There is no way around it. Weaver had a tough night tonight too, but this one is on Devin Williams. 2/3 of an inning. 1 hit, 3 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. His ERA now on the season, 10.03. If that's not a bum, I don't know what is. Why didn't Boone leave Cruz in? He threw 2 pitches in the 7th inning. He threw 2 pitches. Now, why waste him? Why wait? Unless he's hurt. There is zero excuse for taking Cruz out of that game. He threw 2 pitches. So you just want to use Williams against a really good team? You want to just spend an extra bullpen arm for no reason? Really? I don't get it. Some of Boone's decisions lately have just been absolutely baffling. We got some calls tonight that I'll play, and I'll play them throughout the show tonight because you guys are ticked off. We're going to start off with Brian.
Man, Boone has been making some super questionable pen decisions. When Cruz comes into the game there and gets the only batter he sees out, not even throwing 3 pitches on that weird pass ball that didn't go. Why would you not bring him back into the 8th? He's been the team's second best reliever this year. We all have eyes. We can see. And Williams has been the worst reliever on the team.
Absolutely.
And just like earlier this week when we brought Leiter in a high leverage situation, what are we doing with these pen decisions?
100%, Brian, 100%. Another tough night for the Yankees. And look, what a waste of an unbelievable performance by Carlos Rodon. He was absolutely tremendous tonight. He has been terrific. That's 4 great games in a row for Carlos Rodon. He deserved a win tonight, and the team deserved a win. But questionable bullpen decisions and a guy who was clearly not cut out for New York, again pitching in a high-leverage situation. I know the other day I said I'd be okay with him pitching in a 3-run situation. I changed my mind. I don't ever want him in a game where we're winning. If you want to pitch him when we're losing, when we're down to eat up innings and maybe try and keep the game close, sure. Can't handle tough situations. I'm sorry. He just can't do it. He's afraid of contact. It's the walks that kill you. It's not even necessarily that he's getting hit hard. It's the walks. God, is there anything worse than watching a frickin' relief pitcher walk guys and put guys on base and put your team in a position where a base hit or a bloop single or whatever can beat you? Just absolutely horrible. And people saw it coming.
Derek, this is Willie. I'm calling you early. Wins better not blow this game because Cruz didn't even pitch to nobody. I don't know why they didn't bring Cruz back in for the 8th inning. If he blows this game, I'm going all the way up to New York and punch him in the face.
Wow. Well, I don't recommend punching anyone, but look, I think it's fair to say that every Yankees fan watching this game, when they found out Cruz was out of the game, had the same reaction. Why? 2 pitches. Absolutely unacceptable.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
So let's go through the recap, and we'll take your comments and play some voicemails along the way. But undoubtedly one of the worst losses of the season. That's the 5th time that the Yankees have blown a lead and lost the game, and it's May 5th. May 5th. We're on pace to do it about 25 times this year. Absolutely atrocious. Look, game started out okay. Beautiful play in left field from Cody Bellinger. And once again, Dominguez was on the bench. Probably wouldn't have caught that, but they got Dominguez in the game late with 2 outs in the 9th inning, pouring rain against the toughest closer in baseball. That's a great way to develop the kid. If you've ever played baseball in the rain, though, it is fun to slide on the grass and make catches like that. So, Yankees missed an opportunity right away. Judge walked, and then Rice ripped a double into the corner. Judge tried to score on a misplay at second base. Nice recovery by Xander Bogaerts to throw him out. Aggressive play. Didn't work out. Typically, you don't want to get on a guy for an aggressive play like that because it really did take a good defensive play by Xander. I don't blame Judge for trying to be aggressive there, trying to steal a run. You know, the ball was probably slippery. Might have a little clump of dirt on it. You figure Bogaerts got his back to the plate. It's going to be a difficult play to retrieve that ball and throw home, but he did it, and he got Judge. So you tip your cap there to him. By the way, 31 straight games on base for Aaron Judge. Tonight he was 0 for 3, though, and is down to 414. DFA him. Tyler Wade was in the lineup for the Padres. I totally forgot that they even had Tyler Wade. He attempted a couple of bunts in his first at-bat and screwed them both up and then struck out on an ugly swing. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I told you guys I'm working on a book about the Yankees and my favorite Yankees memories, and also part of that is going to be players I couldn't stand watching. And Tyler Wade just reminded me to put him on that list. Trent Grisham went deep in the 3rd, a shot into the 2nd deck. You know, we complain about how they keep sitting Dominguez, but tonight, Bellinger makes the great catch. Grisham hits the 2-run home run. What are you going to do? You got to get Grisham in the lineup right now. He continues to hit. He had a home run and a walk. He's hitting .298 with a 1.010 OPS. And he just continues to crank baseballs. 9 home runs all of last year, and here we are on Cinco de Mayo. He's already got 9 more. So going to go way past that number. By the way, Vivas was on base. He worked a walk, very tough at bat. I love his eye at the plate, but please, can we get this guy a helmet that fits his head? Every time he swings, this is what happens. He swings, and he catch my helmet. Come on. Can we... We shouldn't have to deal with jokes about wearing a chin strap. Come on, put on a helmet that fits. You're a Major League Baseball player. 28-minute rain delay in the 4th inning. Yankees did manufacture a run in the 6th. Base hit from Goldie Knox. He stole 2nd, got to 3rd on a bad throw, and then Volpe brought him in with a sac fly. Volpe back in the lineup. Welcome back. Rodon was done after 6 2/3. Phenomenal innings. I'll talk about him more in a minute. Yankees got a little bit of a break. Padres ran themselves out of the inning. And it's funny, when I talked to Kyle Glazer of Friar Territory last night on the episode that aired this morning, his big question was, can the Yankees still not run the bases? And I thought about that when that happened. But anyway, that's baseball, Susan. Tatis and Schilt both got ejected in the 8th inning for arguing balls and strikes.
Hasta la vista, baby.
And then Devin Williams, 3-0 lead. He ends up walking a couple of hitters, giving up a base hit, left the bases loaded. They went to Weaver. He didn't have his best stuff tonight. Couldn't get the fastball by Machado. A couple of hits later, it was 4-3 Padres. And once they have the lead, their bullpen is locked down. And it's time for Devin Williams to go. I'm sorry. I'll drive him to the airport myself. We got to give a shout out to Carlos Rodon, who did not deserve the fate of a no decision tonight. He's in one of those stretches that he tends to go on. We'll see how long he can keep it going. But 4 really good ones in a row, 0.70 ERA over that stretch. And we have to give this guy credit. He was getting punched in the mouth repeatedly, more than Peter McNeely early on in this season. But he's done a complete 180, and he's pitching like one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. You know, it's a shame that the bullpen can't hold a lead because he deserved it tonight. He deserved a W. With some pitchers, you can tell right away if they're going to have a good night or a bad night. Rodon's not like that, in my opinion, because he can he can be cruising and dominating for 3-4 innings and then fall apart. But tonight he just kept dealing. And lately he's been more efficient. He's been getting deeper into games because his pitch mix has been better. Throwing the sinker more, throwing the changeup more, and that makes his fastball and his slider more effective, which is why you're seeing more strikeouts. You're also seeing him get deeper into games because hitters are fouling off less pitches. He's not pumping fastball after fastball after fastball and letting guys get their timing on it. He's mixing up pitches. He's keeping guys off balance. Genuinely got to be concerned about that changeup and that sinker this year. Fantastic job by Carlos Rodon. 6 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. I got to give him the nice performance, even though we don't typically do this for losses. But tonight I felt like it was a hard-earned no decision. Tough luck. Nice performance. Behind the dish says, Chance Cole can pitch in the playoffs? Playoffs? You're talking about playoffs? We're trying to win a game. We're talking about playoffs? George Lombard Jr., in case you missed the series kickoff podcast, I mentioned he got promoted to Double-A from Hudson Valley to Somerset. Considering he doesn't turn 20 for about another 3 weeks, he got the same birthday as my mom, June 2nd, he is moving up the ladder quickly. And there are people who will be drafted this year who will be older than George Lombard, who is already in Double-A as a teenager. So the question now becomes, how far away is he? We've seen players debut for the Yankees at 20 years old. Dominguez was the most recent. He debuted approximately at the age Lombard will be in December. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that he begins next year in the major leagues. So we're going to keep a really close eye on him in Double-A this year. Rarely do you see the Yankees be hyper-aggressive with a prospect. Phil Hughes was up at 20. Anthony Volpe was up at 21. Melky Cabrera was up at 20. All ended up being quality major league players. People have their qualms about Hughes' tenure with the Yankees, but he had some good years with the Twins also. And Volpe, say what you want. He's a 3.5 win player, that came up at 21. And Melky Cabrera had a nice year. He had the steroid thing, but he won a batting title, and, he had some good years. We'll see how he performs at Double-A. If he tears up the league, I expect him to be promoted to Triple-A by the end of the season. Probably early September. Maybe he gets 2 or 3 weeks against Triple-A pitchers, which for the most part are not going to be as talented as the Double-A pitchers in terms of stuff. The better prospects tend to be at Double-A, especially during this part of the season. But at the end of the season, some of those guys get promoted, and then other guys, from the Triple-A squad get called up to the major leagues to, fill in on depleted pitching staff. So I'm sure he'll face some decent pitchers along the way, but he's got to get there first. Part of it is also just playing in front of bigger crowds, playing at better ballparks. There's a big step from Double-A to Triple-A. So he's got to get through Double-A. He's got to hit. Everything we've heard about Lombard Jr. is right in line with the Yankees hype machine for their prospects, but he's one of those few guys that you watch him in spring training and you see he really jumps off the field or jumps off the screen compared to the other prospects. He's athletic. He makes unbelievable plays. He's got a great arm. Dominguez was the same way a couple of years ago offensively before he got hurt. I remember there was that spring where he hit about 4 or 5 home runs. But George Lombard Jr. already has the defensive portion of the game figured out. We hear that he's an elite defender. He hit .329 with 1 home run and a .983 OPS at high A. So we're really just finding out, what he's going to do offensively. Can he conquer minor league pitching from the offensive side? And if he can, you might see him up here quick. We've seen other guys move through the minors very quick in recent years. Jackson Holliday, another guy who comes from a baseball lineage, was drafted, I believe he was 17 when he was drafted. It might have been 18, but he made it to the major leagues last year, struggled a little bit, but this year he's playing really well since about mid-April, hit a couple of home runs the other day. So we're going to keep an eye on Lombard Jr. Back with your responses and comments about Devin Williams and the meltdown in just a minute. Quick word from our sponsor. I'm going to queue up a couple more voicemails.
If you want to be bougie and have your own personal shopper, Hungryroot is actually the spot, and you can do it at an affordable price.
Yeah, without a doubt. And especially with my busy schedule with kids on the run all the time, baseball, gymnastics, I need a source that's going to get me going and my kids as well. So I'll pop in an easy chicken parm or grilled chicken, put it in a nice container, get it to go, and the kids are excited, and they're full, and they're nutritional, and it's ready to rock for their games.
There will be snacks that you have never heard of that you will immediately fall in love with. They will pick them out for you if you want. Obviously, you can go on there. You pick all of your preferences. Hungryroot gets the job done. Okay, FT fam? We love Hungryroot. Take advantage of this exclusive offer for a limited time. 40% off your first box plus a free item in every box for life at hungryroot.com/FT. That's code FT. hungryroot.com/FT. Code FT for 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. The code is simple. It's 2 letters, FT.
All right, so we got some super chats to get to. Richard C. with a couple of them. He says, the closer role is cursed since Mo left. I thought Soriano was pretty good. And then he also says, I consider trading Volpe because of Lombard. I think they might put Lombard at third base. I think, he's got the arm to do it. You got to have a good arm to play third base, and his is very strong. You can't put Volpe at third. He doesn't have the arm. I mean, I guess he probably could, but I'd prefer not to move him even further away from first base. And it seems like they like Jazz at second base. You like Jazz. But I don't think they're going to trade Volpe. I think they're going to continue with him. The Rowdy Rattel says, baboon, gonna baboon. Stupid is as stupid does. And then referee says, stop. Fire Boone. Just 3 more years. Just signed for 3 more years. Yeah, that contract. I don't know about that, man. So, tough night. Let's play a couple more voicemails here.
Man, Boone has been making some super questionable.
Wait, hang on. I clicked on the wrong one. I clicked on the wrong one. Hang on. Here we got this one, Michael King.
Hey, Derek, Danny from California. In a rain delay in the game, and they were interviewing King, and it just made me think, if we could sign him next off season, just think what our rotation would be. Cole, Rodon, Fried, King, Heel, and Clark Schmidt would be a fill-in. That'd be probably the greatest rotation of all time. Anyways.
I don't know about the greatest rotation of all time, but it would be pretty good. I don't think you can count on Garrett Cole coming back as the ace right away. Usually there's an adjustment period. Maybe by mid-season he can be back to himself. But I'd probably put him at the back of the rotation to begin next year if he's ready at the beginning of the season. But he might not even be ready, when the season begins. But Fried looking like the real deal. Rodon seems to have turned a corner, so that's good. He's gone from meatballs to goose eggs. And, Heel, we'll see what he is when he comes back. Maybe you can move Clark Schmidt to the bullpen and fill some innings in the bullpen because he's not a guy that gets deep into the game anyway. So it'd be interesting to see how that all shakes out.
Hey, Derek, how are you? Tabor Talk from the Catskills. So game 1 with the Padres, rainy Monday night, half-hour rain delay. Grisham just hit his 9th home run. You can't keep this guy out of the lineup. I mean, this is insane. Like, you always think, like, Grisham with the great glove, like a good utility guy, but he's like a star. I mean, just think about it. And he's only 28. Like, you think of him as this journeyman. Utility is Judge and Zach Lemon. So, Yanks up 2-0 in the third. Let's go Yankees. And
yeah, it didn't work out, Tabor Talk. Sorry, there's a sad ending to your story. But I did want to comment on Grisham. Right now, he's just doing great. I mean, he that is becoming the Trent Grisham trade, the way it's working out. Theo Harris says, I know this sounds negative, but this feels like 2023 all over again. It really does, unfortunately. So, tough night. Pickler says he's sick to his stomach. I'm actually not feeling great myself. I wouldn't say sick to my stomach, but it's just it does feel kind of like a gut punch where you get the wind knocked out of you. You just don't feel right after a loss like that. I'm going to have trouble sleeping. I'm going to be wired. And I'm going to think about it because I'm a super fan and it doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't affect my existence in any way. Whether the Yankees win or lose, I'm going to do this podcast and, I'm going to think about it the whole next day. So, It comes with being a fandom. Richard C. pointing out that Clay Holmes is 4-1 with a 2.95 ERA as a starter, by the way, for the Mets. So Boone's, I guess, explanation for why he took Cruz out of the game was that he threw 2 innings a couple of days ago. Well, why put him in the game then? Oh, Boone. I just can't with this guy. I just can't. Anyway, appreciate the love from the super chats and everybody who joined tonight. Tough night for the Yankees. Check out the store, nydesigns.shop. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm going to call it a night because it's about 11:15. This game went way longer than it should have, and we're gonna get some rest now. I'll catch you guys pregame show tomorrow afternoon, a couple hours before the game. Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.